Hey, everybody on YouTube. Nice to see you. Hey, Doug and Deb back with you today on a Saturday morning. We wanted to show you Filecoin. And if you watched yesterday, our live, and if you didn't, you'll want to go back and watch that. Doug set up a grid using the coin Filecoin. Just out of the blue, we picked a coin. And Doug wants to come on and kind of show you where we're at with that.
So yeah, and so I'm going to share my screen, Deb, and remind me if you remember. If you don't, that's fine. Everybody that watched the YouTube yesterday, that are on the call, in our Zoom call, and or are on live. Yesterday, I set the pullback. I did so much talking, and this thing now has gone live. Um, I think I remember setting the pullback up as a custom, the
Custom,
first rule.
custom 3% is where
Three
you set it.
percent, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I remember too. I didn't want to, uh, you
Well, it
know,
was live, so you can't make stuff up, Doug.
yeah, right, exactly. I can't,
Yes,
I
but
can't
good
get
to
away with
check.
that stuff. So one of the things that I was talking about the system, and we're looking at Filecoin here. Maybe if I can get this to slide up here, we're looking at Filecoin. We know that we set this yesterday, and I said I didn't want to do market because why? I was near the top of the current barrier, right? I remember that much. And I remember saying, if it pulls back down, there's some barriers here, and there's another layer area below. But I set up a 3%, and I told everybody if the market is in a down, it wouldn't take it at 3%. It would take it at a deeper number. So let's look at this. We rolled over to the down, and if I come here and catch about the middle of this dot here, I'm doing it off to the side so that we can see it, and I come down right here is 3%. Okay. We didn't execute here. We qualified here. So, or we got to here, but we ended up qualifying here. We got some up pressure here, and it did end up taking the trade here. But the key that I want everybody to see is this was dropping and it didn't execute here. If it kept dropping, it would have kept following it down. But what it did do, it dropped. And if I take off these dots here and try to get this cleared, let's just see if I can get it cleared out enough for you guys to see. Well, under there, there's a up pressure under there, and I can't get it to get the dots off so that you can see it. And that up pressure had some volume, and it did count, and so it did qualify for our rule 2. So rule 1 is the range. Rule 2, it's looking for volume to come in. Volume did come in, and it qualified. So now it's looking potentially for the second trade down here, which on the second trade, we set it up as and let's go now. You can see it left pending. Yesterday on the call, I showed that it was impending. Now it's in live, okay? And we can see that in the setup on the pullback rule, I went conservative, right? Which is around 9.5, 10% down because that next range was at 18%. And the same thing will happen if we're in a hard down market. It will go past this entry point and find the volume coming in before it'll buy. So it did exactly what we wanted it to do. It went down, went past the 3%, and it ended up being about 3% where it got in because volume did come in. But again, had it kept dropping, it would have been deeper. So the system did what it was supposed to do. It's really interesting that you guys get to see this the day after we actually set it up and talked about it. So that's all I wanted to show on live today for you guys, that we actually had had it execute and played out the way that we thought it might play out up against this barrier here. So really fun,
I
Deb.
love it. I love it. Thank you for updating us, Doug. Sure appreciate that. And we'll see everybody back out on YouTube on Monday.
Monday.
See you then.
Take care, buddy.